It's a live stream still going here.
Doing a podcast. I'm doing it outside.
Must have a good weather outside, huh?
Beautiful. It's a little hot, but you know.
Yeah, it was freaking hot over here in Minnesota. Oh my God, like almost 100 degrees all
I know.
weekend. 100 degrees and freaking hot.
Yep.
I tell you. Well, let me get the link shared here, and then I will go from there, I guess. Yeah, as I was trying to tell you before, it's like, we'll figure this thing out. I mean, I'm not mad about anybody if they can't make it or if they're have other plans or whatever. It's just we have to, if we're gonna get somebody, it just makes sense to promote them, and then hopefully that they will show up, because I don't like when people don't show up.
I mean, it happened all the time to me, especially my TV shows. I'd have people they're supposed to be there like 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, they're telling us their grandfather died or they're in a car accident, and it's mostly strippers.
Yeah. We're too busy with strippers and stuff like that.
Yeah, they were the worst.
I tell you. Okay, let's see. I think I'm doing this. I'm gonna tag you so that we get that out of the way. Yeah, followers. And
If it gets too dark, you can't see me. I'll go inside.
Oh, you got some good lighting over there. Seems like you do anyway. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's watching us yet anyway. It says I'm live, so I wish there was like a way that we could have like a counter on Zoom just to let us know kind of who's there and be able like to chat with them or whatever, like via that way instead of going all the way to the stupid Facebook page.
Right.
It gets me frustrated sometimes where it's like we got this great idea and it's like only if we just knew how to do stuff, or if it just made it easier for us. But of course, everything always has to be a trick to every goddamn thing.
You're right.
So did you have a good Labor Day then?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Family's up all weekend.
That's
The last of them left around 5 o'clock, and now I can relax.
So you guys celebrated the whole weekend, including Monday, then, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
From Friday night. Yeah.
Anything exciting happened at all? Like stuff you can talk about, stuff you can't talk about?
Well, we went over my family's camp. They're about a half hour away in Palmatuming. And we hung out there in a campfire and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Over here, we just ride our quads or whatever we do.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right. I'm just sharing the page around a little, or our link around, so we get some more people in there.
I like that thing under your face, Frankie Salter.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to do like a lower third, and that's what they call it in the television business anyway. Which I'm sure you knew that before from your days. But you probably had, I suppose you had like a pretty good camera crew when you did it on TV or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or
we used professional cameras.
Yeah, I always wondered how they did all the Chiron stuff, and then I learned from when I was at the Black Hills Fox in Rapid City. I got to work with the news team and everything, and they showed me all the behind the scenes, and I was so fascinated, man. It was just such a good time. I miss that job so much.
Yeah.
One of the greatest jobs I ever had.
Hey, for your listeners out there, if you want being it's a holiday weekend and we couldn't get our guest on tonight, you are welcome to download Zoom for free, and we can hook you up and send you a link, and you can actually be on our show because you guys are what make the show. So we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, we want to kind of hear from people that that haven't followed the channel for a little bit now. I know we haven't been around too long, but only a couple weeks. But we're trying to make this as good as we can make it. I mean, with the holidays and stuff, and then the summer, it's probably not the right timing on my behalf, especially because I know John's a busy guy too, even though he's retired. But he's a busy guy. He's way busier than I am. And so I just am glad that we could find a time slot where this could work. So regardless of holiday or whatever, So I figure most sitcoms used to start in September, right after Labor Day, where they start their new season. So why not start in September,
Right. Next week, I guarantee we'll have some guests on that are pretty well known, and one's a comedian is going to start traveling. I'm going to try to get him on my show, and possibly Bill Kinnison on my show next Sunday night. So on our show. So we're working on some cool stuff next week. It's just that I can't get a hold of nobody. Nobody, what I mean? It's just
yeah, I know.
What the heck?
And then my idea to have a couple guests on went flippily flop too, and not because they're being mean about it. It's just they had other plans. They had other plans, and they forgot about it. So I was just like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, it's understandable, I mean, I jumped the gun and asked you right away, and it's just like, well, I should have probably waited until a better time to ask.
Right.
Let's see. So I'm gonna send you the Zoom link here, or send it to your buddy here, and see if because he hasn't responded at all to any of my invites. So I don't know. It's probably just because we're not. I mean, I did send him a friend request and all that, but sometimes that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
Does he have like an email? Does he have like an email address or anything like that? Or
I don't even know.
You don't know your own people?
It's been a few years. Yeah, I don't know anybody's email address.
Oh, okay. Because if he had an email address, I could just send a link to his email. Then it'd be even easier. I think the one with Pascal is probably easier. But
when I talked to him, he had Facebook up and he had Messenger up and waiting for me to send a link.
Oh, okay.
So I sent the link you sent me. And we'll see if he responds. Well,
at least it lets him know the meeting ID code and the passcode. So those are the two things you definitely need to. I mean, for the other way to, if it's making it hard on people to get in, I might even try your brother again just to see if he, see if he's on, because I'm sure he'll probably.
Yeah, folks, Zoom is supposed to be free. Don't pay for Zoom.
Exactly.
It's free.
The only way that
it's probably scams, not scams, but they get the people that want to pay, and that's how they make their money. But you shouldn't have to pay in Zoom.
I pay only because this is a month-to-month deal, so that we can do the recording of the episode more than for as long as I want.
Right.
It's not because I love paying for stuff or whatever. It just makes it easier, and then it's like, well, okay, we're ready to go. So
yeah, I'm podcasting live outside of beautiful Ohio.
Outside
on my front porch. Yeah.
Home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or the state of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I've never been to, which I would love to go to. Man, I tell you. Well, welcome to Welcome to Renegade Radio. I was gonna say Rapid Fire Radio because that's what I used to do back in the day, but that was so long ago. Welcome to Renegade Radio, episode number 3. I'm your host, Frankie Slauson, along with my co-host. We'll say I'm co-host Frankie Slauson, along with my other co-host, Screaming Sam. How's it going, man?
Pretty good, man. Just enjoying the weekend off and winding down now. And I figured the greatest way to wind down is come on a show, right?
Oh, absolutely,
Just to wind down and get it all out of me and all out of my system and get crazy.
Yeah.
I had a lot of emails this week about our shows that they like that we interact with them when they chat. If you want to chat in our thing, we'll be we'll talk to you, we'll answer your questions. But if you want to be a part of our show this week only, if you have Zoom, just text me or Frankie,
Yeah.
or get a hold of me through my Facebook, and we'll send you a link to Zoom.
Get a hold of me on Facebook too, because that'd be probably the easiest way if you want to say hello or whatever. Because I like to know who's tuned in and stuff. I mean that's kind of cool, to see people just randomly come in or just show support by just tuning in and everything, and that's very nice anyway. And we're trying. We're trying.
Justin Lund said it should be free. He even said it's Zoom.
Yeah, and he's right. And it should be. I don't understand. I don't understand it.
I think they're a bunch of sissies myself. I don't know. I think people are a bunch of sissies, don't want to be on screen.
Well, some people get afraid of that. Some people like their privacy. It's like, what?
This is actually my relaxed time.
Yeah.
This is my relaxed time.
I would say it's probably a good relaxed time for you, at least. I mean, out there sucking on a stogie, I'm sure, or whatever, or you're not.
See? Here's the thing: when I had my show, I was the guy everybody depended on. I'm not like that now. Yeah, I got you. They can depend on.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Now, how they do the screen sharing?
I don't know. I just pressed on the thing here. I'm not going to share. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to. This whole thing with this overlay lower third thing and the background behind me. I figured out how to do all that stuff just within a few hours ago before we went on, and I might have to figure out a way so we can get you a lower third too, because that's what I was trying to do. Is make it look more professional. Like, hey, look. There we go, Steve and Sam right here. There's the name right there. But for some reason,
we would have had Justin on this. Justin Lindsay said, but his girlfriend cut his hair. I guess she did a pretty bad job on it.
Well,
is that what you're trying to say, Justin?
Justin Lenz is a story in his own right. I tell you that much. Oh yeah.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate him coming. Watching the show.
I know him pretty personally. Well, I mean, I don't hang out with the guy, but I know who he is, and we worked together out at Walmart before, and because he worked at Walmart. I think he's back at Walmart now. Our Walmart in our town or in the area is pretty. It's like they hire you basically to find a way to fire you, and we just love it so much. Such a wonderful experience, You have no idea. You'd have no idea how many.
They want me to be a greeter.
Yeah. Oh, imagine you as a greeter. Oh my God.
Come on, you little lady, get going, move, kick her.
Yeah. Oh, you need a rolling cart? Oh, well, you should have been here a few fucking hours ago when we had them all in stock here. They're all charged up. Now they're all gone.
Here, let me check your cart. What's these what are they called tampons for? What are they for? Embarrass them in front of people.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you bought another sex toy this week, Mr. Hurley. Well, that's nice. You just not getting enough from the wife, or what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's for both of us. It's a gift. It's a gift. Sure.
It's a gift.
Yeah. There is. Nothing says a gift of a dildo,
I guess my buddy Dean's lost, dude.
He's lost. Well, tell him to respond. Like, tell him that I sent him a message on Facebook and to click on the link that I sent him. That's all he needs to do. That should take care of everything for him, hopefully.
Right.
Just tell him to do that, and he'll pop right in like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Excuse me, folks. I'm typing while I'm talking.
Yeah,
that shouldn't be allowed. But I mean, I'm breaking the rules.
It's like Santa Claus making a whistles. I'm sorry. I the beard just Santa Claus. I think Santa Claus, and I think you as Santa Claus. And I know you have like a thing that you do.
You never know. Sometimes I might shave and come on a show and surprise you. You'll be like, "What? Oh, he's back! He's back!"
Yeah, you guys remember there's the picture that he showed us last week of what you look like, and I mean, it's basically Sam Kinison, but it's
Right.
not Sam Kinison. It's like it's
But
so.
what's funny when people meet me in person, they still say you look like that comedian that died with the beard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's crazy. Are you able to see me? Okay.
yeah. You might want to get like a little lamp, like a little lamp or something or whatever, because it's starting to get a little dark. Like you have like where you are right now with your phone right now. I can see
Yeah.
you perfectly, picture perfect. But then you move it away, and then it's like you get
Oh,
dark.
okay. Like that.
Yeah. So yeah.
I got a light somewhere. I have to turn the light on.
Are you at the clapper? Are you that
Huh?
wealthy when you got the clapper? You know, cover the clapper.
Yeah.
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 I have the
Well,
crapper.
I'm gonna.
I have to clap in order for it to flush. You know, it's gonna.
I'm just afraid of bugs coming around. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, you should be afraid of bugs. They should be afraid of you. You know,
That's right.
yeah. It's like the Chuck Norris syndrome. You know, Chuck Norris is like
Here,
the.
let me see here. Bear with me.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's better. Now you can see you really well.
And
Oh
then there
yeah,
was light.
that Jesus gave us, or God gave us, or
Yeah.
Father Sam gave us.
Okay.
Perfect.
Now I'm sitting closer and everything.
Yeah. Now we can see everything. We can see your doorbell, and if I was over there, I'd be ringing it 1,000 times.
And I still get to enjoy the outside weather.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
You know,
Seems
some
like-
shows I'll sit next to my motorcycle or like my car, down my garage. You know what I mean? Show people some of my stuff I have. And
Sure.
like I did that interview with you. Remember?
Yeah.
I had my antique in the back with my Harley back there, and it really looked cool.
Oh, I remember that. That's definitely an interview that we talk about a lot lately on the show, but it's definitely something I'll never forget. That's for
Right.
sure. That is
was
for
good.
sure.
Yeah, that
But,
was pretty good with Bill Kinnison.
Yeah. So anyway,
Hey, welcome to the Renegade Radio.
Yeah.
With Frankie Salson and Screaming Sam. We almost gave away our real names.
Well, yeah,
Don't
everybody
tell
knows
them my
name.
name's John. I'm telling you, don't tell them because
God forbid.
It'll confuse people.
I would say your name is like Peter or something. Like
Yeah, it's Peter Gazinia.
Yeah. God bless you. You just sneeze. My name is Peter Achu. Bless you. No,
You ever hear a joke? You ever hear a joke when people say Mike Hunt?
Uh-huh.
You know that joke, right?
Oh yeah.
This is no lie. I was at a gas station and the guy getting his car work on was Michael Hunt. And I thought to myself, that kid had a tough life. I mean, he had to. This is no lie. I swear to God, there's a guy in Ashtabula, Ohio, called Michael Hunt. And he specifically said Michael Hunt. And when I looked at him, like I gave him a little smile. He smiled back, but he wouldn't say nothing else.
So you should have been like, so your name is Mike Hunt, right?
Yeah.
Or is the H silent or whatever? Is there a C in there? Yeah, well, just be lucky you didn't have that name, or
I told him,
like.
I was going to tell him, you're the fucking legend, dude.
Yeah. Because you're the one that has the name. You're the one that has had the funny name anyway. So Mike Hunt. Yeah, I can only imagine how many jokes he had to go through.
I guarantee he was half white, half black kid. Really nice kid. Sat there, was quiet, didn't say a word. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I was trying to make conversation, but I just couldn't. I had to go out of the shop and laugh a little bit. And,
well,
I mean, guys, Mike Hunt wants to know if her car's done.
Well, I mean, when you think about that, there could be a lot of funny names that we never even knew that were around. Like, I'm going on this website called 190 plus funny dirty names that are immature but hilarious.
I think the best one is D's.
Oh yeah, D's nuts. Yeah,
it's the best.
What about Amanda Lick? Oh, looks like somebody's coming in here.
Somebody join us.
Somebody join us. I think your friend made it. Dude, if
Waterboy makes it, I'll be happy.
Well, I think so. I think he's coming.
That's good. He sees the light and he's running towards the light. We're gonna have Dean the Water Boy.
Oh my goodness.
Huh?
That'd be great.
So that means I pulled through my guess, man.
That means you did. But we see his name, but we still don't hear nobody yet. We don't still, it's like some mystique, you know. It's like, do we see do we see what he looks like, or is he a mysterious audio voice at all?
Right.
Let's see if we can check. If you need any help, Dean, let me know, because I mean, it seems like he's must be having a little bit of an issue.
Is he?
I think he is.
He didn't text me. He didn't text me back yet. I told him. He says add a link, whatever that means. Or no, I said add a wait. Oh, add your link into his.
And that's what I did earlier on. So we'll see what happens
when Waterboy gets on.
There he is.
It's going to be an interesting show because you're going to hear what we went through back in the day. You're going to hear about the books he wrote. You're going to hear about all the shit we went through in our show. I mean, I hope you don't mind, Frankie, but it won't be a dull moment with Waterboy. Waterboy was our news guy. And,
that's great.
And there he is.
What's going on, man? How you doing, Waterboy?
I got it, man. You know, I'm a 20th century man trying to live in the 21st century.
Move your camera down a little bit, Waterboy.
It took me about half an hour to do what most dudes can do, probably. What a 5-year-old can do in about 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, sure. With an iPhone and everything, I'm sure.
But I got it. I'm locked in.
Hey, Waterboy, you can't see your face all the way. Put your camera down. There you go. That's how ugly you really are. Yeah, people. Now, Waterboy was our main man. Yeah, set a rock under it, Waterboy.
Go-to guy. The go-to guy.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, nice to meet you finally. You know, Sam was telling me so many things about you and how much you were a good asset to his show back in the day. And we're not trying to bring that back, but we're trying to. Well, he and I decided to do a podcast, and you know, we've done stuff together before, like interviews and stuff in the past. And I just wanted him to be a part of the show and see what we can do as far as put our two worlds together and, you know, see what we can come up with. And so far we're doing okay. It's our third episode. And now.
Those are great shows, man.
Oh, you had
them over and over again.
Oh, you have watched them.
Years later, they're still pertinent, and they're still fun.
He was on every show. Dean was part of our show. He was, like you said, Frankie, he was the legendary Waterboy. There was nobody like him. He sneaked his way on our show some bullshit way. I think we talked about that last show, but the Richard Pryor thing. But yeah, and he used to come up with news that would happen like the day it happened. I'm like, dude, that's too fucking soon to talk about a school bus crash of 4 kids. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling Richard Pryor jokes to Richard Pryor Jr. And this guy's like, you can't see him because he's on the phone, but you can feel him cringe through the phone lines.
Sure.
Tell him a little bit about you, Waterboy, and what you about your book and everything that you wrote. And
yeah, let's hear about your story, man. I'm very interested.
My book just got picked up by Thrift Books.
Okay.
And that's going to link into Amazon plus its own link. So that should be some cool new sales. And we found a bunch of old reviews from like Barnes and Noble that had never been published. And they're all 5-star and they all kicked ass. So we got them into the Amazon stream of reviews.
Right.
The book review is awesome. People that read the book, if I get people to read the effing book, man, I'm golden.
What's the name of the book? Tell me the name of the book, dude.
It's a deal with God, the power of one.
It's almost a true story, but it's like not a true story. It's like a
it's based on a real person
based on it.
that died very young, and the book plays it out as if she didn't pass.
Like as if she still stayed.
It takes you to the scene of where she's killed, but where she dies, the book picks up where she's in the hospital as if they were able to save her, even though they didn't. In the book, they do save her, and she comes back.
And the family was grateful for that, right?
And yeah. Say that again?
The family was grateful for that.
They loved it. The mom was like blown away.
Yeah, you wrote a couple other books too, didn't you?
But then one of the, like I said, the book was based on a couple different girls that I kind of melded into one to get like kind of a unique personality. So the one girl was an orphan, so the mom, there was no mom. But the other one, the soccer stuff, yeah, I got the mom to read it. It took a few years to, get the book out to her and track her down.
Right.
But yeah, she loved it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But like I said, the reviews are amazing. This book, people write these page-and-a-half reviews, and they're like, "Oh my God, the book blew me away," and
Gets you emotional, I'm sure sometimes.
it's emotional and spiritual, and it makes you think about God, but it's not preachy. A Jewish person can enjoy it,
Right. It's not just for Christians.
Baptist, it's kind of a Christian book for everybody.
So are you just like a book writer too on the side then, or how did that all come about?
But then I did a bunch of Westerns.
Oh.
So it's not like I'm a Christian author. I did the Jake Duke series, and those books are pretty amazing. Though I think Jake Duke has like a 4.74 on Amazon, and that's really tough to get that high.
Sean, how he got the name Waterboy?
Tell me.
I'm gonna tell you, he's one of the largest water companies in Florida, down where we live in Odessa.
Oh, okay.
He's probably the largest water company down. Like he does water softeners. He installs all kind of water, because down in Florida, that's big. Water softeners and stuff like that. And he has one of the biggest companies in the area that everybody uses. So that's how he got Waterboy. It wasn't because he was fetching my water for me.
Well, I think of Adam Sandler, the Waterboy. When you first told me that was his name, I was just like, wow, okay. So maybe he was a Waterboy for a sports company or something. But
no,
that's pretty cool though. That's it makes sense. It makes sense.
Bill Kinnison calls him, and if Waterboy comes on next week, we'll have Bill Kinnison on. Bill calls him Waterhead Boy.
I was just watching that. I was just watching the new tape he put out, the new sermon.
Oh, did you?
Right before I queued on with you, I was watching some Bill Kinnison.
Yeah, he's great, man, ain't he? He was great on our shows, wasn't he, Waterboy?
Yeah, fantastic.
We had some good guests on there. We had one of Howard Stern's
Craig
guys.
Gass. Remember Craig Gass?
Yeah,
I love Craig Gass. I've had him on my show too.
He did this thing on our show where he was Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons having a conversation amongst each other, but it's the same guy.
Oh yeah, yep.
Gene talking to Paul, but it's him.
I remember that. Because he did it on my show too.
I hear that, man.
And it's funny how talented people can be. Because he could do a Sam Gibson as well, and I'm just like,
yes.
I wonder, like with Screaming Sam, it's like, does that make it kind of cringe that you hear another Sam Gibson impersonation, or do you just like go along with it, just like let's just have a Sam off, see who does better?
You want to know what I'm going to do, Frankie? We were supposed to meet each other at a comedy club. I was going to sit on his lap so he could make me look like a puppet and do Sam.
Just imagine a big Sam Kinison convention, it's always people.
We had Richard Pryor Jr. on our show. We had Speech Impediment Man was Howard Stern's guy. He used to be on every week. And we had what about Bertha Bangers? She passed away, but there was a guy dressed like a woman, funny as hell. We did a lot of crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, I've been paying attention to the shows that you guys done. I listened to the one of the 9/11 tribute shows that you did like 10 years later, and I was just like, wow, this is kind of a different. Even Bill was like, I don't know how much of a tribute this is. Sounds like for a show, but
you know what? Hey, Waterboy. I predict. Is he on still?
Yeah, he's on. He's a good listener.
I think he froze. I think he froze up.
No, I was just thinking back about Artie Fletcher. That guy. Remember we had Artie Fletcher on for a few shows.
Right. What about Richard Pryor Jr. and who else? We had a bunch of people. It's the list goes on, man. A lot of porn stars though.
Well, yeah.
Just so we need some porn stars on our show, just to make the someday, just to make our show even better.
Next week we have a naked chick on my porch.
And she's eating a banana.
But in his office, he had pictures of him and Ron Jeremy and everything. It was pretty, yeah.
No, I mean that's the cool thing about nowadays. Like you look back on all that period of time, and you think about all the things that you've done thus far, and thinking that, well, maybe it's all over with, and then all of a sudden somebody gets a hold of you and say, you know what, we need to do something. Let's do something. You know, we have never
You
done
legit-
anything together.
Let me
Yeah.
ask Waterboy something. Waterboy. Hey, Waterboy.
Yep.
Do you like the beard or should I shave? Because I thought me shaving, that's our shows back in the day. And I really wanted to separate a little bit from that. That's why I kept my beard. What do you think of that?
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If Sam Kinison were alive right now, do you
Yeah.
think he'd have the beard, or do you think it would be clean shaven?
I don't know. I think he'd be like Bill Kins. I think he'd be bald and shaved.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I think so too. It's hard to picture. I mean, what he would look like older. Well, I mean, we have the image here, I guess, but it's like, but if he was still alive, the real guy, you know, who knows?
Do we have
you know?
access to that? Do we have somebody in the family that does age?
Do the whole Harold Ramis
Yeah,
thing,
Bill Kinnison.
Ghostbusters Afterlife thing now. We're gonna just age him from see what it look like now. Yeah, imagine
Well, we
that.
should take. We're maybe you never know because I like Waterboy. I mean, me and Waterboy go back many years. We've been friends for a lot of years. We
Oh,
worked together. We
Are you guys far away from each other or close to each
yeah.
other?
He lives in Florida. I moved to Ohio.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
seen. It's the first time I see Waterboy in 4 years.
Well, congratulations, right, on this well-known podcast, right?
Like, and I love Waterboy. He's the best, man. I'm telling you. Not another guy like him. Tell him if Vince was on the show, dude, it'd be a little crazy, right?
Oh, well, Vince gets it loud. Vince pumps it up. You got to definitely raise the ceiling when
Hey,
he's there.
Frankie, you won't be able to talk.
Everybody has their moments, I tell you. And I like to find somebody that can out-talk me. I'm sure there's a lot
Oh,
of people
he'll
out
do
there.
that, dude. He'll tell you about his alien abductions. I mean, he's a pretty interesting guy.
Oh,
And I'm going to
that's
get
cool.
that sucker on our first show. And it's going to be like the old Screaming Sam show, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
with a little twist
we
there.
want to take it a little further.
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
You
So we're going to talk about a lot of different topics and stuff too. That's what podcasts mostly do. But I don't have a problem with going a little adult or related. We're trying to bring back the days of the shock jock. Not too shocking though, because we stream live on Facebook and I put this on YouTube, for people to watch. But you can use their imagination. I'm not against free speech. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care who your God is. I don't care who you love for president or whatever. Let's just have a good show and talk about whatever we want to talk about. And
Right.
just have fun with it. That's
I
all.
gotta
I'm
ask you
saying.
agree,
a question real quick. Because I heard something on the news today.
Yeah.
Now, Vince does the thing
Uh-oh.
with the bees. Well, Vince is one of them bee guys. He's got one of the suits, and he's got farm, like, is that a cocoon or a nest or whenever you got a big hive? He forests these hives for money.
Right.
There's the big story out of Ohio where John's at. Is some dude got bit by 20,000 bees.
No way.
He's in intensive care in some hospital in Ohio.
And that just happened today.
Yeah, and I wanted to get
You're
your
already
take
putting
on-
that story
I
out.
don't know if you're talking to Vince or not, because I wanted to get Vince's take on it.
Oh yeah,
1,000 bites.
that's unbelievable, man.
Put him in a coma.
No shit.
I think he's gonna live, but he's in a coma.
Well, see, here's the thing, Dean. Here's the thing, Waterboy. If you join our show, like say you want to be a part of it, like you don't have to be on the whole show, but you got to come up with some news for us every week if you do something like you used to.
That's
you
your
gotta tell us
assignment.
your joke. Yeah, one of your jokes, so we don't laugh because you weren't funny back in the day, and I'm sure you're not funny today.
I got a joke for you.
Go ahead, tell your joke.
I'll probably get it. Well, can we get thrown off of this? I saw the
No.
Zoom as
Try not to.
How far can I go?
All the way to Mexico. I tell you. Go ahead.
This lady's with her mom and grandmother, and it's her anniversary. And she goes, I want to do something super cool for my husband. I want him a great anniversary gift. She goes, Mom, what's the coolest thing you ever did for Dad? What was the best anniversary gift ever? And she goes, oh, we went to Puerto Rico and it was wonderful. And it was, the palm trees and the beach. And back then it wasn't political. It was very nice and relaxed and easy going. And the food was great. Had a wonderful time. Okay, Grandma, what's the coolest thing you and Grandpa ever did? He goes, we stuck on a train and got the fuck out of Auschwitz.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There.
I
Nobody can
didn't
be
get it.
offended by
I didn't
that.
fucking get it.
It's a German joke, yeah, or
I know, I
Schindler's
know.
List joke or whatever, Jewish joke.
That's his jokes, man. I'm telling you, he's good. We used to have me and Waterboy, or should I say, I'm sorry for you people out there, Waterboy and I used to have a joke off every week.
We used to end the show
See
with
who
it.
was funnier.
We used to end the show with it.
Yeah. We used to have a joke off. We had judges, and of course, guess who won every week?
Waterboy.
No,
No, you?
No.
I won.
Oh,
I'm
geez,
the host
well,
of the show. Who else is going to win? The
I-
host of the show.
sometimes the co-host can be funnier than the host. Sometimes I don't know. So it
No,
can
not my
happen.
show.
It can
Not my show,
happen.
Sean. Not
No?
my show, man. No.
I mean, you never know. You know, you never know. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody likes a good fart joke, right? Well, that's hilarious. You know, like you get. You know.
Did you have a joke too, Frankie?
Well, I mean, I was going to go over some of the. We were talking about people with funny names, and I found a thing on the internet about funny names that some names I've never heard of before. Some names maybe you have heard of before, and I was just going to kind of go through a few of them just to share. Like
Sure.
you know, we got like you know the popular Amanda Hug and Kiss. You know that could be Amanda Hug and Kiss like HUGGINKISS. You know Amanda Hug and
Right.
Kiss. Oh, last week we were talking about cornhole, about Andy Cornholder. It's almost like cornholer, but not holer. It's corn holder.
Right.
And of course, you know the popular bend over, right? You know, bend over. You know,
Or Eileen.
Or Eileen, yeah, yep.
Eileen over, you kiss my ass.
There's a dildo. Yeah. There's
John's brother.
yeah. There's a Dick Long. There's a Daryl B. Payne. I don't know. Oh yeah, Daryl B. Payne. Okay, I get that. Curly Pubes. So imagine knowing the Pubes family.
Oh man, Vince used to do that, didn't he? Remember his neighbor was Pukes, and he was always making fun of them.
And here's one for Sam here. Eaton Beaver. That's EATONBEAVER. Eaton
I have to
Beaver.
remember that one.
So
What's
just
your
some
name? Eden.
just some funny names that you would never start thinking about, like Peter Pants. You know, I mean, it's just funny.
Right.
So, and then Oliver clothes off. You know, that's just.
That's a good one, Oliver.
So there you go. I mean, just little.
The best one's Waterboy. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
There was a dude that used to play for the Cleveland Browns named Fair Hooker. That was
Name what?
Fair Hooker.
Fair
No way.
Hooker.
You know, he's into sports too, Frankie.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, it's sports time. Football is coming up
You know
now.
what he's best at? Politics, I'm telling you. Which we try not to do, but Waterboy gets kind of crazy when Bill Kennedy. You don't get crazy. Our old producer was the opposite of us. And we used to have our debates on our show, which were fantastic. We captured so many people with our debates. It was unbelievable. Bill Kinnison would debate. What's his name again? What do we call him on our show, Adam?
Buzz something. Bud?
No, Bud Ecstasy. Ecstasy and Bill Kinnison would have debates, and it was these shows used to pick up some listeners because, even though everybody hates it, everybody loves it too. You know what I mean? Politics.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
Bud was uber
Yes, you know,
liberal.
I called back in 2000 and maybe 5 or 4. I could pull it up on my show that I said one day, I bet that Trump guy runs for president wins before he even thought about running. You remember that, Waterboy, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yep.
That's
I predicted that. I predicted that's going to happen.
that is funny. That is funny.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun on the show. I'm telling you, it was never ending. It was like always something. We used to go out on locations and do shows and all kind of crazy stuff. I'm Waterboy.
Fetish Con.
Yeah, Fetish Con every year.
Fetish Con.
Every year.
Fetish con? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
What the hell? I can only imagine what that was all about.
Vince will tell you, man, they hired some guy to play guitar, and the dude got sick in the middle of his set, and they had nobody to. And Vince goes, "Hey, Waterboy plays." So I'm sitting in front of like 1,000 people downtown Tampa, in front of the Marriott, and everyone's going, "Waterboy." Vince is hanging about, Waterboy. So I'm sitting there, so I started playing some Aldine, man, and everybody. Like, look, I only know a couple songs. I'm doing a 15-minute version of My Kind of Party.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So you're multi-talented there,
So
sir.
yeah, we love to hit the road, man, because we're very versatile. We can do a lot of.
We
You know,
actually,
fun
I'm
stuff.
telling you, we took this to the limit. We did have a lot of people. My emails never stopped. Our the producer, Bud Ecstasy, his emails never stopped. Waterboy, I mean, one day we got rid of Waterboy since he became his author, for this deal with Gawd. We got rid of him. We actually got hate mail because of that, and we had to bring him back on the show to make everybody happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't just get rid of your cast, your cast of characters,
Oh, we were getting hate mail. Where's Waterboy? We're gonna quit watching your show. He makes the show.
Well, you
So
said
we had to
that
hire-
you said that one time that you let everybody host, you let somebody host your show when you were gone. Who was doing the hosting then? When you were when
It
you were
wasn't
gone?
you or Vince, Waterboy.
Vince.
Vince hosted it.
Okay.
And it didn't really go as good, but it was okay. I
So-
called the show.
So you think if Waterboy would have hosted, that probably would have done better, maybe at that time, or no?
What do you mean? If you got Waterboy to help you?
No. I'm not. No. I'm talking like on your show when you were gone. Instead of having Vince host the show, yeah, you said, "Well, let's have Waterboy do it." And
No,
see how
because
they-
Vince was equally loved.
Oh,
But
okay.
he actually was a percentage of our show, like on paper.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, everybody loved Vince because they thought he was nuts. They thought he was out of his mind. And if you listen to any of my radio shows
The
and go to
intros. You gotta listen to the intros.
yeah, go to Screaming Sam, look for my podcast.
We have the best show intros.
Yeah, you'll hear Vince and you'll love Vince because Vince is Vince. The only comedian I know that likes going to shows and running people off. Yeah, everybody leaves the show.
On purpose.
So he was definitely a shock jock material, pretty much.
He was on a mic night and get thrown out.
The first thing he asked me about this show that we're doing is this like blues, man? Is it a blues show? And I went, Vince, you can do whatever you want. He's like I can't explain him. He is one of the smartest guys I ever met. He graduated what, 8th grade, 9th grade? He was ahead of his class.
Vince is brilliant.
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy. Like I'm telling you, I think he's an absolute genius. He's a genius. He's a true genius guy. And they say geniuses, are crazy. And I believe that. I believe into that, right, Waterboy?
Well,
Sometimes you just never know,
What's
There's
that kid
nothing
at the
you
Big
could
Bang
ask him.
Theory? That's the genius.
Yeah, everyone wants to be Sheldon Cooper. That's right.
Yeah,
His
so
His,
was our
his mother used to make him read books when he was a kid all the time. He read books instead of going out and play.
Oh,
He just read books. Like he wanted to take his CDL test, and he brought his camper. He had a beat up camper he parked in the lot. That's where he lived during the CDL test. And he actually was waiting in his thing. I go, what's going on? He goes, I'm just waiting for them, dude. I'm done. I mean, I'm waiting for it to graduate. I said, well, how much time's left? He said, probably about 4 or 5 days. And I said, you're done. He goes, yeah, I did all my work already. Like, he's fucking unbelievable. But
Wow.
I'm telling you, you can't stop loving Vince. He's crazy. He's a little odd, so he's got to sit back a little bit from his phone. But
sure. Can't control the pitch of his own voice. Maybe he should have done like a Sam Kinison, Sam
well,
off
that's
or
everybody
something.
said, yeah. But we used to go out as a team. He's the one that had everybody going for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we had a great. The people on our show was great chemistry. Waterboy was the non-funny news guy. Vincent was the crazy guy. I was actually not that crazy. I was pretty calm, and Bud was our drug addict. He always did drugs.
Right on the air too while we're broadcasting. Yeah, let's.
Well, he
let's
would
do some
say that, but
PCP.
It wasn't true, but he would say that. But we wasn't that bad. But
Well, you know, they made marijuana legal now in Minnesota now. So people
Oh,
can
is it?
smoke marijuana now. Oh, yeah.
It's legal in Ohio.
Okay. Do you think that's helped the economy much, or do you think that just like for me, I'm just like, you know, the thing that was got people in a lot of trouble now is legal, and has it helped? Has it not helped? You know?
What it does do is it gives you a better chance of winning the Super Bowl because they legalized it in Denver, they won the Super Bowl. They legalized it in Seattle, they won the Super Bowl. So I think maybe they're just looking to, jack up the football.
Well, maybe the Vikings will finally have a
Bring home
chance, right? Yeah, there you go.
Let's do that for you.
Yeah, it's kind of
Pushing
embarrassing. It's kind of embarrassing with the Vikings. They can't even win the freaking Super Bowl. They've been around forever. And I'm not saying that they're a horrible team, because they are a great team. I started getting into football a little bit just because I like wrestling as well and stuff. And I just like, it looks nice on my big screen TV when I watch it. It's just like, it's fascinating to me. How people get all excited about a game where you have to get a ball. You fight for the ball basically. It's almost like rugby, but it's not really rugby. But you wear pads and everything, and you get paid way too much money, and we win or lose and draw. But who cares about the politics of it, right? We care about winning. No losers, winning. And if you're a
All
loser,
about winning, yeah.
if you're a loser, then we hate on you for a week until you win again. You know how many people
next
I know that Vikings fans that did that? That would just hate the team until they won again.
Right. Next week, we get Wildman and Vince on, and we get Waterboy back on, and then we get a couple guests. Because Vince has some interesting questions for guests. That's unbelievable. I mean,
that's great. That's great, because there is a guy that will be coming here soon on the show for me anyway, for first potential guest anyway. And he's from Minnesota originally, but he stays in California. He's a blues artist. His name is Corey Stevens, and we're going to get him on here soon. He actually got a hold of me and responded back to an email I sent him over a year ago, but he was going through some shit. His dad passed away, and he was just depressed and everything, and just didn't care about anything for a while. Then all of a sudden he responds back to me randomly all of a sudden, and then it's like, well, let's do something. And then he said, well, I'm going to be having surgery here pretty soon, but in late September, I want to be on your show. Now, he don't know about the podcast. I haven't told him about it yet.
Right.
I will here soon, and then we'll make that arrangement. But so I'm not going to say exactly when he'll be on, but just expect that.
It'll be on.
Yes. The other guy is Brad Wilson, and I also had my friend Lil Bobby. They'll be on eventually. It just, everybody has plans for Labor Day. This is the day that we honor all the women out there who are pregnant, right? All the hardworking women out there who are pregnant. We're in labor right now as we speak.
That's a good one. First one for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just the thing about women, right? Labor, or is it about men too? I don't know. I keep seeing all those women photos of that one classic photo of that one woman who was like, I think that has to do like something happened in the 20s or 30s about women's rights as far as being able to work in the workforce or whatever.
Right.
And there's this woman that's wearing like a bandana. She's like posing or whatever, doing a flex. I forget what the name of that piece is called, but I just remember seeing that for Labor Day posts anyway. So I had to go with the Labor. I always tease people about the Labor Day thing, acting stupid, so making people believe that I'm a little, weird in the head. That's what if you believe me that's what I think what Labor Day is all about, then you don't know me as well as you think you do.
Right.
But I had to post it anyway because it's funny as hell.
Right.
Because nobody's thinking that like Labor Day. That can't be about pregnancy. Sure it can. So there you go. I take it back.
That's good. That was a good one.
Well,
shit.
So anyway,
we're gonna take a little okay, Sean or Frankie. You think I'll shave for next week or no? I mean, we're gonna take a little
well, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, everybody says I should shave because it looks like I have pubes on my face anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Good.
Yeah, I like it, but everybody else has a problem with it.
What do you think, Waterboy? You think I'll shave or no?
That's your call, man.
You said you were shaved 2 weeks ago and you never did, so I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, you might see me next week. What I'm gonna do is when I come on next week, I'll be like down known comic with a bag on my head, and then we got to guess if I shaved or not.
Oh, geez. I think we
That's
got
how we're going to start the show next week for you folks that are watching this, which a lot of people will probably watch this after the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
That's
a lot
how
of
it's
people are
similar.
still
Yeah.
partying. I still hear fireworks going on here.
Fireworks. It's not the fucking 4th of July. What the hell are they have fireworks
There's
for?
fireworks like crazy.
That's because we had the extra day off of work or whatever.
Yeah.
Or celebrating.
Every day's a Saturday to me.
So, Waterboy, are you still in the water business then, or are you fully
Yeah.
retired now?
No,
No.
7 days a week.
Oh, okay.
I worked today. I worked yesterday. Man,
So you're laboring it up pretty hard then. Jeez.
Yeah.
And what got you into the water business? Like, why water?
well, come to Florida before it's gone, man. They've trashed the environment here. The water's horrible.
Sure.
City water, well water. It doesn't matter what water you got, it sucks.
It's all well water.
Well, I
Kind
was well water,
of how
man.
it is here too in northern Minnesota. Like, it's just the water's so rusty and everything. It's just like, why would you want to drink that?
Right.
Cooking with our food and everything. It's like, why I try to prefer bottled water or whatever.
Yeah,
more
but
We
than
you
can
anything
make it
else.
super cheap. Bottled water quality comes right out of your tap. Every
Yeah.
spigot.
Yeah. Well, my brother or brother-in-law and sister have like one of those Culligan. Well, I don't think it's Culligan, but like a water dispenser or whatever, like the big blue thing or the gallon jugs or whatever that they get.
Right.
And we drink that, and that's fine, because he works for Northwest Beverage, so it's he gets
But we
it.
can tie a filter to your water main. You can have that quality water at every tap. So it protects your plumbing. Protects
Oh,
your water.
so you're not just about the jugs or whatever. You're actually about
Oh,
filtering
man,
it.
the whole
No,
house.
he
whole
puts
surface.
he installs them.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were just like water delivery guy or whatever, but you're talking about the whole, like
Whole
redoing the whole thing. Okay. You're
Yeah,
talking
he
about
puts
water
it in-
softeners and everything, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
He
we
does
sell a lot,
everything.
we sell a lot of softener salts in our area too, because a lot of people who live out in the country, I live in small town USA, northern Minnesota, so they're close to Canada, and it's like there's not much to do around here, and people buy is salt water or softener salt like it's candy, pretty much,
Yeah.
but
We lived in our place down in Florida where we lived, Dean and I. Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Right, Waterboy. It's just it's the most the lake. Waterboy has a place right on the lake with boat docks and beautiful place. He just bought it maybe about 5 years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, the first house he had built as a new home, and then the second one he sold that and bought this one and renovated it. And we had a party a couple of times on the lake, and what a party! I mean, it's just beautiful. We stand out the docks and bullshit, and even my house down there, Waterboy, is a beautiful home.
If you cleared the back out and made it water view, that house is worth $1.25 million.
Which one?
Rhea.
Oh, my house.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
The
Jeez,
house
I-
across the street just sold for $1,075,000.
Yeah.
Well, you hang out with
Without water access.
hang out with
Right.
all the millionaires now, you guys? Jeez. All the rich people.
Well,
Hulk
yeah,
Hogan,
but mine was the cheapest house on the block, which was it was a beautiful home though.
uh-huh.
Mine was probably the cheapest, not the smallest. It was a big house,
Yeah.
and the one across the street went for $1,700,000. And my buddy said my house got to be worth well over $1 million, and now he just confirmed what it's worth now. It's about $1,250,000. I should have kept it a couple more years.
Yeah,
Seems
water
like-
access.
Seems like you live in seems like you. Yeah, right. We have a little lag here, I tell you, we love to over talk each other. Oh, well, that's okay. Go ahead, what are you saying there, Waterboy? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, like I said, he just had to do a little excavation in the back, and he had water access to the awesome, beautiful lake. And then, his house is worth $1.25 easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must have a big house anyway, there, Stan. It looks like a nice big house that you live in
Who,
right
me?
now. Yeah, you. No, the guy behind you.
Oh, it's a beautiful. It's a beautiful big house.
I'm sure man cave and all, I'm sure,
Yeah.
has to be,
I got a
Big
big car.
basement.
I got a big garage down back. I got a big shed in the back with barn doors. I got 16 acres of land. It's a nice house. I got.
Are you
I
out-
got a-
Are
I
you
got
out in
a
the
great
country?
room. It's huge. Huh?
Are you out in the country that kind of like or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Same
go.
thing. Probably the same thing is down in Florida, but I lived on a dead end street in Florida, but it's the same situation. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's like everything else. You can drive out of here 5 miles and you're in the ghetto. You know what I mean?
So you can get lost pretty easily, and then we find Sam's
Yeah.
house. It's like, oh, we're not lost anymore. And then he shoots us with his gun and say, "Get the fuck
Right.
out of the property."
I'll tell you what, Waterboy, I thank you for coming on tonight. I think you helped us big time with the show.
Oh yeah,
we-
thank you
like I
very
said, we'll
much.
have a lot of-
I'm in
lot of
Vegas
viewers.
next week, but I can help you back in 2 weeks.
Oh, you can't make it next week. That's right. That's right.
I'm
I'll
leaving
try to
Friday
get. What
night.
I'll do,
Ninth.
I'll slowly work. Frankie in. What I'll do is I have you this week. I'll try to get Wildman and Vince next week. We're used to ain't together, and then the week after we'll blast them.
Yeah, and if you want to be part of the panel after your Vegas trip, you're more than welcome to. We definitely
Yes.
want the
I'm
more
back
the
to
merrier.
16.
Yeah, so come
Yeah.
back in a couple weeks, and then we'll initiate you. We'll draw blood. And then we'll do a slap. And,
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to advertise it. Waterboy will advertise in 2 weeks. Waterboy's, going to be on the show, and
sure.
don't miss it. I'll push it. Then if I get this other comedian on that I want to get on, he's doing this big tour. He'll be great because we could maybe get the audience to see where he's going to be, and you know what I mean.
And I think the people will like us. I mean, anytime we're gonna get, when we actually get some actual guests and stuff like that, I think
Right.
everybody's gonna everybody, as long as everybody does their part and plays their role as good as they can anyway. I mean, I hate to say this, it's not a paid deal, it's free. It's just taking some of your time, but I don't know how the ways of making money out of this thing, but somebody
Well,
probably will eventually, but
What you got to do, Frankie, is the right person got to see us. That's all it takes.
yeah.
No, seriously, if we keep
I know,
sharing
I
it-
believe you. I believe you. I just hope that maybe one day that could be a reality. But for right now, for anybody that is just taking the time, I just want Dean to know that this is what I can't.
right. Well, he already, I told him. But like our show, we had so many people reach out to us, but we never followed up with anybody, or else we would have been made. I mean, I did this thing called a titty hunter. Okay, where every girl on our show, I did like a crocodile hunter, but with boobies. And we actually had a guy fly from New Jersey, wanted to do a movie on it.
Oh,
And he would have made deep. Remember that Waterboy?
Yeah.
And he wanted to do movies and everything. And my producer said, no, we don't want to give up the content. He goes, you can have your content back in 2 years and you'll have a movie on to spread the word. And he turned it down. My producer wouldn't do it. He said, we could do our own movie, and we never did nothing.
If you go on my Facebook page and you see the picture of me, you're kind of in the back off my shoulder. And next to you was that girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, that's just awesome because like I said, this, what we try to do, like, I don't know, like everybody seems to have a good personality when it comes to like for Sam, because I've known him for a long time. You've known him for a long time as well, dear Waterboy. And I mean, is there any stories about Sam that you can't say, or are there stories about him that you can pretty much just say anything about him? Because you never know. I mean, with all the history that you guys have, and the fact that you met each other, and all that stuff in person.
No. The funniest thing of all time, what we did. Remember when we got the float and we were in the Gasparilla parade? Carmine was driving the float 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Guys
driving 100 miles an hour. We can't hold on.
Why were you
thing for an hour and a half?
Why were you driving so fast for though? Were you just
Carmine.
to get to?
No, Carmine, a friend of ours was driving. I guess he was drinking, and then
and coking.
Like he would sit back a little bit, and then the fucking parade would be going, and he'd start flooring the truck, and I'm like, "Whoa, slow down, man! We're trying to stay on the float."
Yeah.
Trailer, we decorated it. It's on my Facebook somewhere.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we were all dressed up. I was singing Wild Thing for like forever. I tell you what, we when our news thing hit, which you got to play someday. when our news thing hit on Fox News,
Yeah.
that just brought us up like tremendous. We made the newspapers about our podcast. We made, and then when they wanted to do a news thing on our podcast, they realized that we put together a TV show, which was not happening. No one ever did it. And we blew that up. I mean, if we would have stuck with it, we would have blew up the market. I'm telling you. There was people who couldn't figure it out.
Did you at least have some sponsors or anything? Because that's what I'd like to at least
we
see
had
if we can get some
sponsors, but nobody
sponsors.
gave us anything. Then Vince, what was funny is a couple people were watching the show for sponsors, and Vince would act so crazy. I'd be like, "Oh, there goes that sponsor. They're not coming back." And I tell Vince, I'd make it up. I go, "Hey Vince, we have Budweiser's going to sponsor us, so try to do a good show."
Yeah.
Fuck Budweiser, and I'm like, "Oh, we lost that fucking one."
We did get a titty bar. It didn't pay, but they did give us girls to come in and be guests and things like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, there you go.
The compensation.
We should have made a lot of money though. You know that, Waterboy. You have to admit.
We had no business then.
Yeah, we should have been. Yeah, we should have been up top. We should have been on top of the world. We had Howard Stern, who we went to an event in Orlando, and we ended up fucking filming for Howard Stern. And he had mentioned about us on his show, and we took all these film because his film guy didn't show up or something. So we actually did it for them, and they told Howard all about us, how nice we were, and so we had it. We just couldn't hold on to it.
Sure.
I need someone who's on board that wants to hold on to it and say, "This is where we're going to go next, guys." You know what I mean? We have a chance to make some money. And it seemed like the money didn't matter to us. We just had fun, but it could have been big money.
Oh, sure. I'm just surprised that, it just figured that, I mean, it should be, when you're doing, especially when you're doing TV. And then when you're finally recognizing you on the news, I'm just like, that's big time, especially in the area that you guys were in. The market over there was just like craving, starving for that type of media and everything. And then just like, I wonder how many people are craving that nowadays, because anybody can do a podcast now.
Anybody,
thousands, hundreds, millions. Everybody has a voice, and anybody can do radio. Anybody can be a DJ for a wedding, and and all that stuff. Anybody can just do whatever they want thanks to the internet. You don't need education to do much. You just learn from the computer, pretty much.
Right. A couple of weeks, you got to play that. You got to play that Fox News in a couple of weeks. I think you'll be impressed.
Oh yeah,
people will see what we used to do and how we made it so big back in the day with this podcast or with this news deal. It's on most of the stuff is on, because on my regular page, John Lutz, you won't find nothing because I have too many pictures of my grandson. But if you go on Sam Lutz, you'll find all my news. You'll find shit that I did. We made commercials. We did all kind of shit, so. We were UPS wanted us to do it. Remember that Waterboy?
Yeah.
We had UPS. We were doing rehearsals for it. Remember in the office?
Yeah.
And that got shut down because we never followed up with it. There's so many opportunities that we had that would slip right through our fingers. And I ain't bad mouthing anybody. I don't blame anybody. It happened. You know what? I had the greatest time of my life, and I'm hoping this new show brings back that greatest time of my life again, and I think it will.
Oh yeah, I believe so too. I mean, I think now that we have been introduced to the legendary Waterboy, now we're onto something. We're just one piece at a time, one show at a time. We're only on the third episode.
The legendary Waterboy.
Well, I call everybody a legend. Who's people have done. I mean, this guy stuck with you through the thick and thin, through the good, bad, and the ugly. I mean, so he's obviously your friend, and that's the biggest commitment you can ever have to somebody. Yeah.
Listen, we had arguments, we had fights. He would come late to the show, he'd come drunk to the show, whatever. We handled it, and we had fun with it. Like one time we made fun of him before he got to the show. We're telling people he's gay. We're telling people this. And then when he come on the show, he don't know what's going on. All these people are like laughing, and we just, you want to be late, motherfucker? That's what happens. We cut you down. And we got him bad that night. I don't think he was late anymore. No.
Now to give people kind of a,
back then I had kids. Not because
well, to give people kind of an idea of the time frame, like when did all this? Because I never even looked it up myself, so I'm wondering myself too. Like when you guys did this show and stuff, What time period are we talking here?
Between 2000 and no,
Oh, 2
Waterboy, help me out here. 2002, like 2005, because I had another guy,
2007.
James Worley, before that. So it's
Okay,
2005 to about 2000 and probably a good 5-6 year run.
okay.
I would
Is
say,
that-
wouldn't you,
it-
Waterboy?
Is that from the time you went to Sturgis with Bill? And then kind of
No,
afterwards, or?
we weren't even doing a show then. I went to Sturgis with Bill and, oh yeah, what were we doing? Yeah, we were doing our show then. You're right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I
Because
wasn't
put
sure
pictures on our
because,
Facebook, we would share that, and
Maybe
Bill has
2013.
hilarious stories about that, which he already told us.
yeah. But I
But
just kind of wanted more like time frame, like you went to Sturgis, like you remember what year you went to Sturgis? Was that 2005?
2005.
Okay. So almost 20 years ago. Over
Yeah.
18 years ago anyway, because now we're at the 83rd or.
We held on almost until 2016. We did our last Fetishcon together, and then we had high hopes again. We were going to do these shows again, and we were off a couple years, and it never happened. Then I end up, I actually retired from the TV thing and the radio thing. I still did interviews with people because people still want to do interviews with me, and they still want to. Matter of fact, a couple people contact me, and I ain't lying, Frankie, want me to be a part of their show now. And I don't even respond to it because I have I feel like I'm comfortable here.
Oh,
So-
I'm glad I made you comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about consistency, I mean, I'm glad we could do this show today instead of yesterday because it's Labor Day and we all had stuff that we want to do on Labor Day. And past Saturday night we had the Sally Brown concert at the casino, and that was fun. They all came and rocked the place, but they only did an hour and 20-minute set. And gotta tell you, that I don't know. I'm happy that we got to do the show and everything, but it's like, they need to do more, like sing more songs from their albums. They got like 20 albums out. They were doing cover songs for most of the stuff. I'm just like, who wants to hear covers?
Yeah.
I mean, you play your hit songs too, but it's just like, play some deep tracks, man. I tell you.
I went to see Chicago, and the dude wanted to play Beatles songs all night.
Well, we lost now. It seems like every week we're losing people. Now we lost a Jimmy Buffett, and now the lead singer for Smash Mouth has passed away. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
He had like kidneys or bad kidneys or something.
Cancer's bad, folks. Cancer's bad. I'm gonna tell you, it's the worst it's ever been. I think since I was a kid, I never even knew what cancer was.
Well, probably wasn't even a thing back in the day until with everything, and people already know it's all the shit that we put in our bodies and the chemicals and all that other whatever.
Well, they're saying it's
like,
the COVID.
Yeah, that didn't help much either.
Pfizer shots.
Right. I didn't do it.
I didn't do it either.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Still alive. And it's sad, Jimmy Buffett lived a long life, but nowadays they're always they call it like 76 a young age. And it's just like, is it really a young age or is it just young because you miss Jimmy Buffett?
Well, I don't consider myself 65 years old because I don't act it and I don't want to act it and I have fun.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to think of that age thing anymore. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like if I shave, I might go crazy too because I look so much younger.
Well,
my face. I don't have a wrinkled face. I still have that Sam Ron face.
Ah, there you go.
People might love it.
Well, but your folks lived a long time too. Did they live until like their 80s or so? Or
My mom died 77. My dad died 85.
okay, so your dad lived longer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He died of cancer. My mom died bad heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
hey, just live life, man. That's all you can do.
One thing about I can say about our show, my mom had just passed away. I went to her funeral. When I come back that day, we had a show that night, and I kept the show rolling. And you never know anything was bad because I didn't let that. I mean, I mentioned it, but our show went on.
Sure.
Am I right, Waterboy? No matter what. And Waterboy almost shares the same birthday as me. He's a couple of days off. So we always had fun in March, our birthdays.
Oh, there you go. Wow, that's cool. Are you guys similar in age, or you're old? I suppose you're older there.
How old are you? I don't know. How old are you, Waterboy?
60.
Okay.
I'm 65. Yeah.
And I'll be 40 at the end of the month, so.
Oh my God, what a fucking baby.
We're gonna have to do something for my birthday weekend anyway, a little special bath or something.
Absolutely.
40
I'll
years.
put happy birthday behind me.
Happy birthday, now blow me, or whatever, the balloon blow me.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. So next week, okay, I don't know if you want to end the show or not, but next week, will I shave or will I not shave is the big question. So next week when I come on a show, I'm going to have a face mask on, and we got a guest. Whoever guesses gets a free trip to fucking Bermuda Triangle.
Why would you want to go there? Why can't we just go to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame together?
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, if I was ever to get up there.
I figured I couldn't afford anything but the Bermuda Triangle. Then I have to worry about them like telling them, "Oh, this vacation was shitty. No, you won't be around."
No. If you're gonna give somebody a trip, give somebody a fun trip. You know, geez. I don't know how far you live from Cleveland, but Jesus, you know.
I live an hour away.
See, all the good stuff, you know.
So therefore, you got to come to Cleveland. You got to come to Ohio, Frankie.
You can buy me a ticket. You can give me a ticket, you know, and then we'll talk about how I'll pay you back.
Hey, I used to do that for Wildman Vince. I'd do shows in Pittsburgh, and I would actually bust him up here, and he'd stay in my house, and we go do our shows, get drunk, have fun, and then he would take either fly home or take a bus home. I paid for everything for him. Because
well, I mean, you're also welcome to come here too, but my place is so small, you know, just like
yeah,
you know. But hey,
I don't travel anymore.
A small town would be perfect for Sam.
Yeah,
I could say,
okay.
hey, come to Greenbush. I got some people you can piss off, or you can yell at.
Right. So what we're gonna do? Not next week. I want Waterboy to be on the show whenever we bill.
Okay, sure.
So 2 weeks.
2 weeks. We'll give you 2 weeks then.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we'll push it like in 2 weeks. Waterboy, the legendary Waterboy will be on, and will Screaming Sam shave or not? And they got to tell us what they think.
And if you don't, and if you don't, that's gonna be a huge disappointment.
Right. Well, I love disappointment, so we'll see.
Wonderful.
You know why I do this? Because I got a double chin that hides it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I got one. Yeah, I got one too. Yeah. You know, I always look like one of those kids that, you know, I hate to say it, but one of those kids that have Down syndrome, you know, it's like when I shave, everything looks all silly and everything. I don't know. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just, that's just, I always say that to everybody, like, why don't you get a haircut? Why don't you shave? Well, you don't want to see me when I'm all clean. You kind of look like one of those Down syndrome kids. Dude.
You probably look like 25-year-old kid then.
Well, I look pretty good, but it's like I too have the double chin just like you, and I'm trying to get rid of it. But
well, when I shave, if I shave, they're going to get that vision again. If I shave in 2 weeks, because next week I will be here with the beard on, but in 2 weeks if I shave, they'll get that vibe again about Sam Kinison, which I really don't want to do. But if it means if I get my crew back on board with us, and I'm feeling like tonight, Waterboy made my night. He really did.
Oh yeah, made my night too.
Much appreciate him coming on the show.
Thank you very much, David. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really.
And I will do it for my boys. I have to. I mean, I know Wildman Vince don't like me being out of character. So I might have to do it, but like I said, I like to disappoint people.
Wildman Vince isn't in charge of this podcast either, so you know you're the guy in charge there. So and we're both in charge here, but whatever, you know.
I just got bit by a bug. Fuck no.
Now he's gonna swell up like a fucking raccoon, like a raccoon dash. So
Waterboy, in 2 weeks, have some nice news that you know how to do it.
Yeah, tell us some Vegas updates or whatever since you're going down there. What you going down there for anyway?
I'll find something interesting.
What you got going on in Vegas?
I got timeshare.
Timeshare. I've never been to a timeshare. Oh, so you get to go on a nice little retreat to Vegas.
It's way nicer than a hotel because you got a kitchen and the living room. And
if you're gonna go to Vegas, go to the Back to the 80s cafe, which is right by the University of Nevada. It's a small little nostalgic 80s cafe in tribute to the 80s. And I don't know if they'll have anything Sam Kinison related, but they have everything you can think of from Back to the Future to Beetlejuice, Pee Wee Herman, all that stuff. And the food's great. And it's just a small little cafe right by the university called Back to the 80s cafe. I'll send you the website on on Messenger. I sent you a friend request too, so.
Thank you.
Take care of that. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's just to wrap it up for today's edition.
Yes, sir.
I think we've done our due diligence for today. So thank you, Waterboy, for
Thank you.
making your debut. And Sam, I love you like always, you know. And
Well, I love both of you guys, man. Waterboy, you know, you're my buddy, my hero.
My Peter Frampton. Thank you.
your eye, ears, and your butthole. I'll tell you. Anyway,
I think once Waterboy opens up a little bit and he wants to be coming on, I told him you don't have to come on the whole show.
yeah,
If you have to leave, you have to leave. You do a half hour. If you do an hour, if you want to do the whole show, we love you. We want you on. And like Frankie said, you're the legendary man.
even if you want to record a segment and you can't make it, you know, you can always send me a clip or send Sam the clip or whatever. We can always post it on the show here too.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter. But anyway, and thank you to the audience, all you guys and gals out there who tuned in. We'll have the YouTube video up here soon, and we'll see you next week for another great edition of Renegade Radio.
Love you guys.
All right. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.